I'm live. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Once again, I'm alive. It's Saturday and I'm still here. Still doing it. Doing it once again. I'm alive. I'm alive. Anybody out there? Because I'm out here. If you're out there, come join me. Whoa. Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard. It's that happy time again. Kind of a gray day. Temperature's not too bad. Not much else is new. I'm having connection problems. Robert Burke, welcome aboard. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you. Hope it's a pleasure being had. Mostly dumb shit, of course, because the asshole in the Oval Office. But dog was over yesterday. Oop, something from Mrs. SPLIFFY. Note. Oh yeah, I'll get to that. Anyway, what's this? This tab is using my camera or microphone. Oh, must be me. I know it's been busy for a couple of months, but now you're caught up. Oh, well, that's good. Glad to hear it. Your grow's going good? Katie, welcome aboard. So, so they're attacking Joe. Michelle Bell, welcome aboard. How's what working? I'm working. Here I am. Anyway, somebody named Tara Reid came forward and better than you could have hoped or helped. Anyway, this woman Tara Reid came out of nowhere and claims that back in '93, Joe Biden pushed her up against the wall and jammed a finger in her. Of course, he denies it. She said she filed a beef with the Senate, and that so they're. Joe says, pull out the records, find this beef. He doesn't believe it exists. However, there are. He says, H7, welcome aboard. Oh, it is? Thank you for the reminder. Let me put a flame under this thing. Happy 420, everybody. Holy shit. That's my first hit off of the weed of the week. Not my first hit today, but first hit off this shit. Holy Christ. Let's go back and try that again. Oh man. Oh, that's fierce. Oh. Not sure I care for this. Anyway, Biden said I didn't do it. It's not my fault. I wasn't even there at the time. He says, have the Senate go through the National Archives and see if they can find this complaint because it never happened. She never filed it. It can't be there. Well, it seems that there's 1,000+ boxes of Biden records that were sent to the University of Delaware that aren't to be opened until 2 years after he leaves public life. Okay. And for some reason or another, he won't give permission for those records to be gone through, which immediately looks suspicious. Uh-oh. I don't know if you're hearing me right now or not. It says I'm not connected. I'll just wait a minute here. I'll keep talking. Oh, this immediately looks suspicious. So why he won't allow them to go through these Delaware archives is 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 unbelievable. It doesn't really make sense why he won't open these records. What difference does it make? It he's taking cues from Trump. You don't have to delete that H7. You're right. It doesn't make sense for him to not release these records. He says because they're not personnel files, and for that reason, he doesn't seem it's necessary. But maybe it is necessary just for the sake of transparency. With this Me Too movement and everything, I think it's necessary for him to be as transparent as possible. If he expects them to back him, then he needs to do everything he can to prove that this allegation is false. There are other women from back then who have come forward to say that although she didn't claim the line about his familiarity and said, "Oh, if he's going to step in his shit over this bullshit, all right, I don't understand why he has to do this. He's pulling this same crap that fucking Trump pulled, and it just doesn't make any sense. Let's just get it out there and get it fucking over with." Okay. So he had nothing to hide. He should be upfront on this and turn it back onto Trump's allegations. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or give us another candidate. Okay. We got one waiting in the wings. All right. We got the right man for the job, just kicking back, waiting to run. Okay. And we all know it. Feel the burn, which I need to do right now, by the way. You're right. A good one is waiting. The one we need. The one that if we had single pay healthcare right now, okay, people would be treated, people would be getting tested. Okay. By the way, the Veterans Administration ordered 5 million masks for their various locations, and the FEMA hijacked the fucking shipment. Thank you, Donald Trump. The VA got the fucking. So even our veterans. Okay. You may not be aware of this, but a week and a half ago, because it's their fault they got wounded and stuff. Okay. disabled vets. It's just like, if you're a prisoner of war, it's your fault you got caught. You know, you're not a hero. It's your fault you got caught. And if you're a disabled vet, it's your fault you got injured. That's his way of looking at things. Degenerate piece of shit that who for some reason or other his heel spurs went away. So, not a possibility, but he's being a super genius. He probably willed them away. So, anyway, this is probably something you're not aware of, but a week and a half ago, this CDC expanded their list of symptoms for COVID-19. Uh, Initially it was fever, cough, and shortness of breath. They were telling you if you had a fever, cough, and shortness of breath, there's a possibility that you had COVID-19. And you probably don't know because, of course, the CDC hasn't been holding any press conferences for quite some time because the orange guy had to fucking get up there and pull his fucking song and dance bullshit. Wearing heel risers gives you bone spurs. You live on Earth, then you have it. Well, they anticipate a 60 to 70% infection rate in this country by the time this is over. Okay. So anyway, now it's expanded from now. This is a week and a half ago that they made this adjustment to the symptoms, but of course we wouldn't know that because they wouldn't think of informing us of that in these briefings that he's been holding all the time. Okay. But it's shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, and new loss of taste and smell. Okay. So all those new symptoms, okay, those were added to the list a week and a half ago, but didn't want us to know because it would have upset us. Uh, you know, it doesn't fit into the sunny picture he wants to paint of our future, which is, of course, way more dismal than he would lead us to believe. North Korea's Christmas gift to us is threatened in 2019. And now their leader is mysteriously missing. Oh no, he made a public appearance. He cut a ribbon the other day. He's out of hiding, allegedly. Of course, you never know when footage was shot of whatever they release and all that kind of stuff. Although South Korea is saying he's okay. How they would know, I have no idea, but they're saying he's all right. It is weird timing. I noticed too the other day, I forget where the hell he was, but Pence was someplace where uh, masks are absolutely required. And well, Mayo Clinic, yeah, that's where it was. Yeah, you're right, Katie. It was the Mayo Clinic. So, yeah, wouldn't it be nice if everybody was tested regularly, and then maybe none of us would have to wear masks? If like every day we could get tested, morning and night. Beginning of our day and the end of our day, we could get tested. One of them instant ones, like those 5-minute ones that Trump talks about all the time. We could just get one, in the morning, get one in the evening, just like Pence does, and then we wouldn't have to wear a mask either. You know, wouldn't that be nice? You know, oh, to live that kind of life. What a lucky guy. We don't deserve nice things. Oh, but he does, huh? Yeah, he's so privileged. What a lucky fella. Yeah. We're the have-nots. Yeah. Yeah, he was better than that. Exactly. He's better than the rest of us because he gets tested all the time. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, we're beneath him. Yeah. So I was looking at the map on CNN, and Illinois is now a red state. I don't mean politically. I mean virus wise. And I don't understand that because we took steps really early. I mean, we closed all the bars and restaurants before St. Patrick's Day. Okay. Uh, we, yes, you're right. Chicago is an international airport, and that posed a problem here early on. And the primary infected area is Chicago and surrounding area. Now, I live in a very highly infected county, but I don't live in a highly infected area. I'm in Will County, which is a fringe county of Chicago, and I'm as far out of Will County as you can get and still be in Will County. I like border Kankakee County and a couple other counties. I'm like way down on the bottom southern border of Will County. Like, I mean, literally just down the road from the county line. So I'm there are in my zip code area there are right now 8 cases. Okay. Uh, Now, dog lives in my same county, and in his zip code area there are something like 68 cases. So he's in Joliet, which is in the same county, but that's a more densely populated area, of course, than where I am. So feels good to be immune. Well, carrying the antibodies is not necessarily the case. They're finding out, so you can't be sure. So there's a Smithfield meatpacking plant. There are 3 in your neighborhood, Katie. That's a lot. Dog. Oh, okay. It did play havoc, though, huh? I'm glad you straightened it out. Maybe I'll make that announcement on the thing later on in a minute. People have gotten it twice. You're right. They have. But then they're not sure if they were well to begin with. If perhaps maybe they had a false negative. So it's so fucking confusing right now. You know, they're just not sure what the fuck, you know. The symptoms, everything, false positives as well. It's such a screwed up mess, and this administration screwed it up all the more. Anyway, it was a Smithfield. Well, first of all, the CDC put out new guidelines for how meatpacking plants are to operate last weekend. Dividers between workers, slowing down the lines, hand washing stations, gloves, shields, masks, testing, all of this kind of stuff. And guess what? It's all voluntary. Okay. None of the meat packing plants have to do any of this shit. It's only if they wanna. Okay. If you wanna, you can do this stuff to protect your employees. Oh, by the way, I reported on that one in South Dakota. Um, Turns out that meat packing plants are like epicenters for this shit, just like uh, um, um, old folks homes, like senior centers, old folks homes, is what we used to call them, just like senior centers. Um, these meatpacking plants are epicenters for infection. So this, I believe, this one was in Missouri. This Smithfield meatpacking plant, where an employee filed a Jane Doe suit. She remains anonymous, and she filed suit against the plant for safety reasons because she doesn't feel safe working there. So the court ordered that this particular Smithfield plant must comply with these voluntary rules. Okay. So what's going on in the chat here? Wet market type environments. That just trumps the fake account to spy on Spliffy. That's all. Okay. So all the other meat packing plants in the country can voluntarily apply these rules, but this particular one has to. Okay. Now, she's not suing for any damages. She doesn't want any money or anything. She just wants a safe working environment. And it doesn't sound like that's too much to ask. Now, back to South Dakota. Of the 2,525 COVID-19 cases in the state, 1,000 of them can be traced back to that Smithfield plant that I spoke of previously. Now, we get to Greeley, Colorado. There's a JBS meatpacking plant in Greeley, Colorado that Pence spoke about at one of his things. Okay. And he said that, he mentioned that there were people with COVID-19 at this plant in Colorado. He didn't mention where or which one it was, but that they were going to get on it and take care of this thing. And Senator Cory Gardner of Colorado said, hey, we're going to get 5,000 test kits out to this place right away. No problem. Which is okay, except and they're going to test everybody there. Okay. Which is okay, except there's 6,000 employees. Okay. So 5,000 kits comes up just a little bit short. So anyway, send them 5,000 test kits out to this plant in Greeley, Colorado, and they test the managers and the supervisors. 40% of the managers and 80% of the supervisors tested. So they decided not to test anybody else, and the plant had been closed because there were, because there were so many infected people. So last Friday they decided to reopen the plant partially anyway, and Monday they went full tilt, even though they're not testing any more employees. Monday they went up and running. Okay. Now they had 100 positive employees. Even though there was a public health order issued. Now there's a public health order issued telling them they couldn't operate. Okay, and they went ahead and opened up anyhow. Now they have the tests. I mean, they could keep testing employees, but there were so many fucking positives in the upper echelon, they were afraid to test anybody on the floor. Okay, anybody working the line, because they didn't want to know. Okay, they didn't want to know how many positives are working there. Now in Waterloo, Iowa, last week they had 350 cases that were directly attributable to a Tyson pork plant. Okay, and 19 elected local officials pleaded with Tyson to close the fucking plant, which Tyson agreed to do, primarily because they had so many employees calling sick, they didn't have enough people to operate. And then they took out a full page ad in the New York Times and said that the COVID-19 virus, okay, so not that they're spreading it, okay, by having nasty fucking working conditions. Hey, seeker, welcome aboard. I mean, they could have better working conditions and not be spreading the virus, and it wouldn't be negatively impacting their business. Instead, they're blaming the virus. Okay. Well, guess what? Force the Defense Production Act. Okay. Now, normally the Defense Production Act is imposed on businesses to force them to operate to benefit the government in times of emergency. Like he kept threatening to do but didn't do, to get companies to make masks and make ventilators and such. For weeks he threatened to do that. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. And then he didn't use it, when he should have. And then when he did, we got accused by, Germany of hijacking their flights and that kind of shit. Anyway, so that's not what he did this time. He didn't tell the meatpacking companies that they have to operate so that he can still get his cheeseburgers. he told the governors they can't close the meatpacking companies. They can impose any other kind of shit they want to do, but they can't close the meatpacking companies. All meatpacking companies can reopen. Okay. Now they don't have to. They don't have to impose those suggested guidelines from last weekend. They can open up any fucking way they want to. They can infect however many fucking people they can. Doesn't make any fucking difference at all. Okay. And Iowa, oh, and South Dakota too, by the way, but Iowa, Governor Kim Reynolds says if you don't go back to work because you fear for your health, you're cut off from unemployment compensation. Shit, you know. If you're afraid to go back to work, you lost your job. And your job is there. And since you don't want it, you don't get unemployment compensation either. It's, fuck you. And of course, they never had any stay at home order in Iowa either. So it's fucking crazy there. Illinois is one of the state, one of the state representatives. Okay. One of the state representatives filed suit against the governor because Illinois extended their stay at home policy to the 30th of May. And one of the state representatives, a Republican, of course, filed suit claiming that this infringed upon his rights. And the judge ruled because, well, his county, since his county has, his whom he represents, has no, or his, I don't know, has only like 2 coronavirus cases in his whole county. Since they have so few cases, he thinks it's pointless for everyone in his county to stay home. So a judge ruled that he doesn't have to. Just him. So I should have made that the WoW story now that I think about it. So, let's make that the WoW story, and I'll tell you what today's weed is. Okay. Do it ass backwards. Okay. Yeah, so that was the judge's ruling. One guy in the state was going to get his whole county off the hook. His whole constituency would be proud of him. But that's not what happened. So the weed of the week is Exodus cheese. And from what I read, it is of mysterious origins and tastes like cheese, which is probably what made me cough like some bitch when I first lit it up. Not anticipated. Sony, welcome aboard. I got up here. Okay. Sounds like a bunch of BS. So many more will die because the ones in charge only care about money. Yes, you're right, Doug. You just got a quarter of that. Of what? Oh, the Exodus. Exodus cheese. It got mellower them first couple of hits, so had me coughing like some bitch. So I have a pronouncement to make. Um, any of you got something to say to me when I'm not on the air? I now have an email account. I'm hurricanespliffy at gmail.com. So if you want to drop me a email, go right ahead. Okay. So give that a shot if you want or whatever. And if I think to check it, I will. How's that? That's hurricanespliffy at gmail.com. I don't think there's a space in there either. So I don't know that it would matter with Google being the way they are. I don't think it's case sensitive either. There you go. So I mean, there's some other changes in Illinois too. They loosened some things up. Governor got sued by a church organization. Uh, Thomas Paine organization, I believe it's called. So they had to open some religious services. But I didn't quite understand. You can't have groups of 10 or more. And there has to be social distancing. And they're encouraging, I don't know, uh, I don't know. I don't go to church, so it doesn't matter. Dogs needs to feed his plants. What was that yellow one? Did you straighten that shit out, dog? What was that anyway? They're in some state parks. We can go fishing again. No more than two people in a boat. So yeah, God's only in a church. Actually, that one philosopher dude, actually two of them, because Buddha said it too. The other guy, Jesus, he said your body's your temple. So sounds to me like you're walking around in your church. Meeting place for the disillusional. Yeah. Or the delusional, I'm sorry. It's a place for everybody who's afraid of the same thing can huddle together once a week. But he's been fishing daily since opening. He needs his fishing for sanity. Well, in Illinois, they all the rivers are closed, lakes have been closed, everything's been shut up. You go out on a boat, they'd arrest you. Molasses, huh? Confess. Remember that glory hole. Let's see. Okay. I'm not crazy about the glory hole. I'd rather have it face to face. Here's the mind killer. Uh-huh. Hey, I was an altar boy too. I went to a prep seminary. I told you why I feel the way I do. Hordes of atheists never went around imposing their belief on anyone. They never killed anybody. They never said, believe in nothing or we're going to kill you. You know? Christians did that. For those who find comfort in a box of fear. Yeah. For a series in the making. About to be released. I don't know. Holy psych word, Batman. Holy psych word, Batman. You have to read it the way it's meant to be read. My favorite from the corny old TV show was when, must have been the Penguin, maybe the Joker most likely, put Batman and Robin in solar ovens on the roof of a building and greased them up. And they were waiting for the sun to come up and they would be fried. And Robin said to Batman, "Holy oleo, Batman," because they were all greasy. You got firewood for him as a kid. Cool. December 18th, 2020 release. For some reason, that always stuck in my head. That Holy oleo, Batman. That would be an awesome movie. The original was an awesome movie. But of course, the thing is that now everything would be CGI'd. How they did the original was truly amazing, I'm sure. And that's the thing about everything now. Uh, and you know what I mean? Well, that's the thing too, is that nothing can compare to your mental images. No matter what movie you go see, it's never as awesome as what you can create in your own mind. You know, the theater of the mind. You know, there's nothing greater than that. I think that's why Orson Welles scared the living shit out of the world. Okay, he did it on the radio. Absolutely, they always feel like they have to. I mean, really, that's why, because their mental image. I mean, here he was opening a jar in the bathroom, opening a mason jar in the bathroom, and this was the sound of the flying saucer opening, jumping out of windows, fire their hair shit. There's crazy shit going on. The original Dune movie did surpass your imagination. A rare movie. Those sets were like real worlds. Such depth, much detail. Yes, and to think they did it without computer generated images. That's what I'm talking about. Anything they do now, regardless of how fabulous it is, really can't compare. It's just like you watch the original uh, Blade Runner movie and you watch the most recent Blade Runner movie and you say, yeah, that's cool. But that original movie, it's amazing how they made that movie. Okay. Considering when they made it. I mean, to make a movie like, they made all that stuff in miniature, and filmed it, all that stuff. That freaks me out that they did all that shit the way they did it back then. Every horror movie begins with the government ignoring a problem. Science fiction, yeah, seems to be that way. Steven Seagal. No, I never watched any Steven Seagal movies. I tend to stay away from Steven Seagal and Jean Claude Van Damme. Trump's second wife was also in that movie. Oh, and Sting was in the movie Dune. Remember? Yeah, speaks of the CIA blowing up buildings. See what they come up with. You aren't the only ones liking that style, though. Not holding my breath. Yeah. Well, it's. I understand technology is technology, but I miss. I miss the. I miss the art behind what they did before. I guess that's what it is. The fact that you can do what they do now merely by pushing buttons kind of takes the art out of it. Hijacked aircraft. Oh, by Iraqis. Oh, sounds like the real world. So Doc and I had a discussion yesterday. Um, Doc and I had a discussion yesterday about the body count, and people are entertained by entertainment. I mean, look at it. I mean, that's all people pay attention to is the entertainment world these days. Okay. Uh, Unfortunately, unlike Vietnam, this war will not be televised. Okay. When they televised Vietnam, that's what brought an end to it. Okay. Because real war isn't pretty. If people saw their children being blown up by these improvised devices, then maybe they wouldn't be so eager to have them volunteer for it. Now, Dog thought that because I mentioned that more people died in the past 2 months because that than in Vietnam, and he thought that number was exaggerated. Well, up economy, flood up, yeah, because he knew Jack knows that something about making movie propaganda films. Find my movie about a war.
card. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Trump playing the blame game, huh? He's going to start a war with somebody just by blaming everybody. There aren't too many people he hasn't blamed for this, is there? They bring hell to earth. You know what troubles me the most about all of this? Not even the COVID-19. This whole administration. What troubles me the most is the face our country has presents to the rest of the world, or has presented the rest of the world over the past 3.5 years. What fools we must look like to the rest of the world with this guy representing us. Where's the dignity? Okay. How can we garner any respect when we have a fool as a leader? How can that happen? Yeah, it's rhetorical because so back to what I was saying. Doug and I were talking about this death count, and he thought it was exaggerated. He says because they're throwing everything into it. He says they're saying he's a person gets in a car accident. He says if they got COVID-19, uh, they die in a car accident, they got COVID. I beg to differ, and I'll tell you why. They ain't testing them. They ain't testing dead people. Okay, the dead count that we're getting is much much lower than the actual death count, maybe by 3 times, because it doesn't include people who died at home, other non uh, healthcare facility. Okay, they're only counting people like who died in hospitals. Okay, they're not counting people who died at home. Okay, and if you did die in a car accident, if you did die in a car accident, they're not testing you either. Okay, if you died of a heart attack, they're not. If you died of a heart attack, they're not testing you either. They're not testing dead people. They're not wasting fucking tests on dead people. So you're saying what the White House doctors who said this is what they're doing lied? Yes, that's what I'm saying. The White House doctors who said that lied. I read an article in I read an article and I got all that information from that. Okay, until 2 weeks ago, they were only counting people who were lab tested positive before or after death, COVID-19, until 2 weeks ago. And now, okay, now they are okay. Okay, prior to 2 weeks ago, dog, they weren't. Now they are. Up until 2 weeks ago, they weren't. So yeah, now the White House doctors are telling the truth. but only for the past 2 weeks. Prior to that, they weren't. Okay. So it's a half truth. Seemed to be that, with all respect to U.S. leadership, was lost when the Senate stiffed the impeachment. Now, if they are orange, the orange clown, okay, continues to blunder in a way which threatens world security, credibility. Yes, absolutely. Dr. Fauci is a liar? No, Dr. Fauci is not a liar. In fact, Dr. Fauci, they refused to let Dr. Fauci testify before the, I got some notes, before the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Investigating Coronavirus Outbreak and Response next week. White House will not allow him to testify, claiming it would be counterproductive while in the midst of participating in the government's response to this pandemic. Okay. So they won't allow him to testify uh, so that they could ask him, what the fuck. Okay, now all these states are opening. This thing's only going to get a whole lot fucking worse. Okay. Like I said, Fauci has already said, 60 to 70% of us are going to get sick before this is all over. Until there's a vaccine, nothing's going to change. Okay. Nothing's going to change. Now, although they've relaxed a lot of things in Illinois, like I say, they've extended the stay-at-home order till the 30th of May. They've opened some things, but we're supposed to wear masks when we can't socially distance, which means in stores, although it doesn't seem to be enforced around here. I, of course, am doing it. Dog is doing it. Dog won't even go in a store if he sees someone in there who's not wearing a mask. So I don't blame him. Yes, they have to fire him for speaking the truth. Well, Trump has already threatened to do that. Yeah, their mouths are deadly. You're right. If you want to keep your job, you can't speak the truth. It's like the Saudis had it right. Yeah. Well, they hit the wrong tower. Should have been the Trump tower. Yeah. Should have made sure he was in it. Well, he was in it. Even said so. He was just blocks away at the time. You've always had a toxic tongue. A mask won't help. Good one. Dr. Fauci is protected in a way. Well, he's on who they would back twice. So no, your vote does not count. And the Democrats just pushed voting aside like it was something lost from the past. No, actually, well, what they did is they fixed it this time, but they did it so publicly it was embarrassing. You know? Hey, isn't it 4:20? H7, where were you? Happy 420, everybody. Did you let me know? It's 4:22. Very good. Very good. Happy 4:22. We late. No, we're calling it 4:22. They are now. Got the wrong fucking candidate. That's the problem. You know, feel the burn. There's still a chance, you know. There's still a chance. You know, we got this me first thing going now. And then there's always a chance with the virus, you know. It's not November yet. Who knows who the candidate will be? You know, he only suspended his candidacy. So owners get a 10-minute slack period. Sounds good to me. We still don't have a national testing program. And until we do, we're fucked. Oh, shout out to Debbie the hairdresser. Hope you're still watching. And if Brittany and Charlie, if you're out there, happy on your nuptials. I think Trump has a heart attack. Now he is awesome for losing weight. He's awesome for losing weight. Well, I don't know if he keep packing into burgers. I'd like to see him keep packing into burgers. I really would. That would be. I wonder, does he get all red when he gets pissed? It's really hard to tell. You know, it gets red orange, I guess. Public displays like that. As far as public, well, their government was defunct. That's orange and brown equal more brown. Well, that's another thing they opened in Illinois is golf courses. I don't play. That's an old man's game. When the people lose the right to vote and be heard, that's pure tyranny. We have the right to vote. Problem is, not enough people go out and fucking do it. Okay? Are you registered, dog? Let me ask you that. Are you registered to vote? Politics are currently resulting in the deaths of thousands of people who otherwise would not die. Our choices reject or accept their way. Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm glad to hear it, dog. Glad to hear it. Cheese as well. Yeah, he lies himself. Absolutely. It's You're right. The largest party is that of non-voters. And I mean, I haven't missed an election from the day I was old enough. And I had to wait till I was 21. I was already out of the military before I could vote. Okay. I'd already served my country. So I wasn't even old enough to drink. And I'd already served my country. So couldn't drink, couldn't vote. So things were different then. There was a time in Illinois when women, I should say, I guess, well, they were girls actually, because they only had to be 18 to buy liquor. Guys had to be 21. Votes that don't matter. It's just, oh, you mean the electoral college? Well, you got to talk to our founding fathers about that. They're the ones that pull that shit. The value of human life. Yes, right. You're right. And the value of the buck. I should say the other direction. Um, it's just a shame that uh, we've been taken advantage of the way we have uh, by these people in power. Matter. You. I saw that too. I didn't want to make an issue of it. I make fun of them enough. It's, yeah, and now they're making light of killing us off uh, on Fox News, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, by July everything will be back to normal." Nothing will be back to normal until there's a vaccine for this. Okay, until you can be inoculated against it, nothing will be back to normal. People are still going to get sick from it. Okay, people are still going to die from it. They can hit you up with something that's going to prevent you from getting it. There's a chance you're going to get it. The stay-at-home order should be in effect until there's a vaccine. Whether you can handle it or not. There's, yeah, well, Trump always watching Fox because he twitters about it all the time. You know, he twitters about watching Fox all the time about how they haven't been on his side lately. It's pissing him off. While my guitar gently weeps, he fiddles while Rome burns. I can't believe that he most likely has people who are doing the math. How many bodies is this economy worth? What is the factor? You know, seriously, how many people can afford to let die uh, and open the economy now? Because this is way too fucking early, folks. Way too fucking early. All the graphs and charts run by all the universities are telling everybody the same thing. This is way too early. Okay. These states they think they're following the leader. Look what Michigan, Democratic governor, doing her damnedest, extended till the 15th. Last week, she had them in her driveway at her home with automatic weapons. This week, they stormed the Capitol with automatic weapons. Okay. Spurred on by Trump on Twitter, telling her she had to negotiate with these fucking people. What the fuck is that about? I thought it was up to the governors what they do. Now, terrorism, when armed individuals storm the state capitol, am I reading this wrong? Am I reading that wrong? Seriously? What did you say in here, Secret? With eugenics, he's and he was right out of the race. Where would we be as a modern civilization be if not for all parts of what has brought us here? So here, yeah, I said, I grow a room with 5 hookers on bicycles, and I feed them fuck. Hey, look, they're employed, aren't they? I mean, they're not on the government dole like everybody else. And see, that's the problem is that people don't understand prostitution. People think that men are paying for sex, and they're not. To deal with the whole relationship thing. In a pandemic, all states should follow the same guidelines. Otherwise, why even quarantine it all and we can all die together? Precisely. All bases cover more tools in the toolkit. What you're saying, dog, precisely what I said at the end of my written bullshit. There is no national testing. When you say every state, what you're talking about is a national program. We don't need an individual state program that is all the same. We need a national program that's all the same. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Men look for love in all the wrong places. Okay. And money can't buy me love. As, as the Beatles. And they didn't care too much for money for that reason. Money's a fucking good start, though. You're right. I like money. Money's good. You know, It's not the root of all evil. It's it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. I like it. I don't love it. I like it. So it's kind of skirting the issue. I can like it. You know, that's so it's not. I'm not that evil. I'm not at the root. I'm just like right there at ground level. So Epstein showed us what the rich do with their extra money. Yeah, well, that was a creepy dude. Uh, there was a guy with way too much money. I mean, you can do other things with your extra money, other things than that. I mean, extra money doesn't have to be spent on things sexual, I don't think, or drug related. I mean, I truly enjoy flying, and had I been really wealthy when I was young, I would have had eye surgery because I was blind as a bat, and uh, now I have eye surgery well enough that I could fly. I'd be able to fly now. So so it'd be nice to be able to fly. So I'd be able to do that if I were with eye surgery. Oh, I did a lot of as a passenger, did a lot of small craft flying and helicopter, and it would have been fun to learn to do that. A kitty farm all day long. Move along, little doggies. Wait, what? No, little putties or little tats. Move along, little tats. Move along, little tats. Are they tats or are they cats? Little dog? No, that'd be too nippy. Pit bull. Oh, hey, I forgot to show you last time that that oh, 420. Let me hold it in the less shaky hand. It's always a better idea. Food and medicine security and non-private land protected through public law. But the system requires it. Use as little as possible. Yeah. What was that? Oh, it's not edible. It's on 420.
My bestie gave me a tiger's eye. Hmm? Isn't that pretty? I don't know if I mentioned it before or not, but she's a wicked. And this is for stress and anxiety. So I carry it with me. Yeah, tiger. So I keep it with me for stress and anxiety in these troubled times. It's a good thing to have. It's kind of turned into a sausage fest here. And oh, you have a sphere shaped one. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Dumb, dom, dumb. Oh, okay. But it's not dumb. I've blundered with some spending of a grub steak, but by and by, I become ever less dependent on mobile overlord. Good for you. Did did your flower come in? As I recall, you were waiting. Excuse me. Uh, so, where was I? Doug was over yesterday, and he had ordered some mason jars on Amazon, and I had them shipped to his place. So I looked them up to see when they would arrive. Uh, and, it said they were delivered yesterday while he was here. So he texted me today, and he said those mason jars that said that they arrived yesterday didn't show up. Would you check? So I checked today, and it said no, they didn't arrive. So that's why I said that. Let me know if they arrive Monday because I'll check on Monday, and if they don't arrive on Monday, chances are they'll come on Wednesday. So you ordered some rubber gloves and received horse vitamins. Oh, I'm sure your horse is very happy with that. Under with some spending. Oh, I read that. Okay. My bad. Why is that your bad? Sounds like you're good. I'm good too, by the way.
Am I? Oh, I see. Do I keep dropping out because it keeps giving me this 40 pounds? Ow, some big kitties dropping out because it keeps telling me I am. So I don't know. Somebody let me know. Pride's the oldest one. Back. Okay. I should go to the mailbox. I was supposed to have gotten a delivery yesterday, and it was coming USPS. And since I didn't get anything at the door, I would suspect it's in the mailbox. I'm not dropping. Well, that's good. These are kitties, baby tigers. You know. Something you got from the Tiger King? Amazon shipping is weird. Yesterday, 8 cubic feet of vermiculite along with 44 pounds of rock dust and 44 pounds of compressed coconut. Okay, well, was airmailed from for free because I was still on free Amazon Prime. Cool. My UPS dude is a weightlifter. Fuckers buff. I think they gotta be. You gotta be able to lift 50 pounds, I think, to work for for them. I'm getting everything delivered by Prime drivers now. All the Amazon stuff comes in a Prime truck. But then I have an Amazon Prime hub, not real far from me either. Like, well, between Dog's house and mine. I ordered a battery for my car remote, and it came in a box this big. I think your package is lost. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to hear that. You still get it. Well, hopefully you'll get a refund and we'll get the package. You know? Yeah, that's amazing shipping dirt and shit coast to coast. Come on. Doug said it got you tracked it all the way to Chicago, right? So it might still get here.
because like I say, there's an Amazon routing center right here, like you know where that is, dog, right there outside of Elwood. Oh, it's USPS. Oh, I see. That's different. I didn't know if it was going through Amazon's packaging system. If it's going USPS, that's another story. Amazon really sucks. Twice how they sent damaged black lid cover. They sent knockoff. Amazon until COVID response had me changing things. Well, right now I can't get any Amazon Prime on my Amazon TV thing for 2 days now. Elwood, he's on a mission from God. That's right, he is. He's in Melrose Park for a week and then never moved. I see. Came from China. Already to Melrose Park. Hmm. Yeah, Trump's still president. They better pay his workers better. Well, uh, not a lot of people know that it's Joliet Jake and Elwood Blues, and that Elwood is actually a town just outside of Joliet. It's just oh, cool. Now that's the SC. That's the new iPhone, the the inexpensive one. Yes, he has aged. Well, this is killing him. This even if he doesn't catch the virus, all this worrying is killing him. The one that's like $300 or something, $400. Yeah, that's the one. You really love it, huh? That's the normal size. It's not like huge or nothing. It's just a normal size phone. Because I don't really care to have a big phone. Blues. You got that, dog? Did you did you not pick up on that before? Ah, same size as six. Yeah, I have a seven, but I didn't get the 7 plus or whatever that was. I just got the regular 7. And I know that the next one is going to make my 7 obsolete. So I think I want to got
see. And that's perfect then, because it's got that new portrait camera and all that. So that's nice. I like that feature. Next 5 years, cool. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Yeah, I liked my camera because it was the first one that uh, the you touch the you touch the photos and they moved. And I found out accidentally the very first picture was of my bestie, and I touched it, and she just happened to say, "You're killing me." So I went around taking pictures of all our friends saying, "You're killing me." And I went and I showed her one day. I just sat her down and I showed her all of these people saying, "You're killing me." And she had a good laugh. So auto spell is no turned off yet. Oh, okay. Oh well. I don't mind that because I'm not a good speller. So, but I know sometimes it's a pain in the ass because I like to swear. Cost cost of the milk exceeds the cost what some people spend. Here's days worth of food and more. Just the cost for wine with. So, people who buy mochas and the occasional bag of chips or candy bar, breath mints, etc., are not poor. No, they may, however, be self-made to be in a poor financial state. And they ought to be. Yeah, Buster has all kinds of treats. $8 month. Five equals 40 bucks. I don't know. I barter. So I find the barter system would be most effective. Helps me clean out some of the stuff in my shed. I did good this week. Tell me I didn't do good this week. You barter an ounce an hour. I'm trying to get food costs under $3 a day and struggle. Some people manage to well feed a small family with that kind of money. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a good trade. $3 a day. That wouldn't be easy. First of all, climate you live in makes a difference. I recall you're like Pacific Northwest. Hours for ounces, yeah. Well, there's only so much food that you can grow that you can carry over into the winter months. Potatoes, root vegetables, sort of thing. And there's things you can dry, things you can things you can freeze. And then there's only so much you can grow. I don't know how much space you have. There's only so much one hand can tend.
QVC,
Yeah.
12 cookies, $40.
They're fucking nuts.
12 cookies. I'm going to make 12 cookies and sell them.
Did you hear that, folks? QVC's selling 12 cookies for $40. Anybody want to make 12 cookies and sell them for $40? QVC's the place to do it. And they're not even wheat cookies. Okay. $4.18 an ounce for popcorn buds. Yeah. Cookies make you tired and content. Yeah, my caramels do that. Sometimes even more than that. Depends on how many you eat. Small variety of winter forage here. So I manage some things. Can be grown domestic. Some things can be grown domestic. I also have grow bags. Plants indoor next to a wall. Southern facing window. Oh, that's good. About 2 ounces per hour. Yeah. Nice. Medical. That's even better. Medical 200 an ounce there. Not here. Not here. Uh. We pay 60 and 8. So that's medical. So and yeah, it's terrible on the street. I mean it's terrible in the dispensary. What it costs. It's just way expensive. I never understood diamonds, personally. I like wax, and I can use it in cooking. Let's see who goes through winter. I have just 4 dozen quart jars, and again this month, order shipped without the Mylar bags. But the fermenting crack is here. Let's save for later what foods I can. Yeah, my Aunt Gertrude used to have a big crock, great big son of a bitch. She used to do pickles. Rosin for you? You like shatter? Shatter, no. Although the wax dissolves real nice with the propylene glycol, and I just use a little propylene glycol, loosen it up real nice with the cooking. Got a dehydrator which does jerky also. Low to high temp. Gotta preserve a bunch. Also biscuits. Um, I got I got a smoker that is a dehydrator. Also, it's an electric smoker, commercial grade. A friend of mine and I were going to open up a place one time. It was going to be strictly carry out because I didn't want to have public restrooms. So it's just going to be drive up and counter service, but no inside seating. Waiting area with a couple of stools. And we bought these 2 commercial smokers, and we never went into business. We got this close. We had a recipe down, a rub. We went out and taste tested the rub in every liquor establishment in a 20-mile radius. And virtually every liquor establishment in a 20-mile radius. There are some places we decided not to go into for various reasons. And zeroed in on one particular rub that everybody seemed to like. And yes, you did see pizza. Something like. And so we had a recipe down. We bought these 2 smokers. And all we were looking for was a location. And the economy went to shit. And, I mean, we had all kinds of equipment. We had a range of refrigerators. We had tables and chairs, and a table, like a tall table and chairs for the inside, what inside seating there would be. And we ended up selling off all the equipment, slabs of ribs at a time, and I can smoke as low as 100 at the same time. So I can make a shitload of jerky at the same time. I made jerky and it came out a chunk smoker. It doesn't use like chips or sawdust or something like that. It uses actual chunks of hardwood. So it's not some bogus, it doesn't use pellets or something like that. It uses real hardwood chunks. So I'm waiting for somebody around here to cut down a fruit tree. Although I do have some apple wood. So I should, and like it's a commercial unit. It's all stainless steel. Super easy to clean. There's even the door is stainless to stainless. There's no like rubber gaskets or anything like that. It's really a nice unit. Got you slobbering, do I? Oh, you're slobbering over the pizza? So would you rather have 35 slabs of ribs? Or a nice brisket? Wouldn't that be more fun? Of course, it'd take a few hours. Be worth the wait. Pizza jerky. Oh, there's a thought. That can be done. It's all in the seasoning. We can figure out a way to do that. Some kind of a tomatoey marinade for the meat. Don't you think? Oh, you heading out? Well, thanks for coming aboard. See you next time. Stay well. Stay in the house. Bye. Need a natural way to keep rabbits away from my seedlings. Any suggestions? Oh, it's 418. Gee, must be something you can plant in your garden that will keep them away. Something that stinks. Looking forward to making your own crackers. Yeah, it should be. You know who's a good person to check out for that sort of thing is Alton Brown. Because he's into food science, I really appreciate the way he cooks, the way he bakes, the way he does everything when it comes to cooking. He's the guy I turn to. You ever check him out? You're right, cooking is chemistry. And that's his approach. Happy 420, everybody. Yeah, it's Elton Brown, Alton Brown. He's he used to do a show called Good Eats, and now he's doing a show called Good Eats Reloaded, where he's taking his old shows and kind of going over them in it and uh, uh, doing what he says is improving on those episodes, changing the way he cooks them or improving on the recipes. Although in some cases he's making them more difficult, and I'm sticking with the original. So, as I've watched them, and some things I do my own way anyway. So, but he's interesting to watch because he explains the food science, the science behind what he's cooking. So that's nice. And he explains it in a humorous way. So, I mean, he'll use puppets and such. It's fun to watch, and he's entertaining and informative. And his recipes are tasty, and you'll enjoy them. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. Miss Cheez-Its. Love to make your own, yeah. Well, I haven't seen it either. What video was that? Already up there. Oh, yeah, he's fun to watch. He has a weird approach to recipes, and I enjoy the food science. Typical TV chef. Excuse me. But I recently rewatched his egg cooking show, and he completely changed how he fries an egg, and because he no longer uses a nonstick pan, uh, he now uses I don't know, some kind of iron pan, not a cast iron pan. And he heats it up in the oven to 450 degrees, and then puts it on the stove and fries his egg in this 450-degree pan. And I'm not about to go out and buy this iron pan and just to fry an egg in. So I have a Calphalon pan, which at the temperature I use it perfectly safe to fry an egg in. for as briefly as the egg is in the pan. And I use his old method of frying an egg. So I'm sticking to his old method of frying an egg. It doesn't require my putting a pan in the oven. It's 450 degrees and then taking this exceedingly hot iron pan out of the oven. And I'm sure burning myself every time I want to fry an egg and putting it on top of the stove. So I'm not going to do that, you know. So you cook your eggs in a cast iron fry pan. That was your granny's. Oh, cool. I use a Calphalon pan, and it's exclusively my egg pan, and I keep it on a shelf way too high for anyone else to reach. So there. This stuff isn't bad. It's not real high. I didn't mention the THC content. I don't believe it's not real high. 17.144%. That's Exodus cheese. So, use maple syrup instead of butter to fry the eggs. I don't know that I'd like that sweetness. See, I was in the service, and there were quite a few people from areas of the South who would put sugar on their scrambled eggs. And I thought that bizarre. They have sweet eggs, and it never really appealed to me. So I don't know about sweet eggs, if I'd care for that. I'd have to try it, I guess. After all, you do get some remarkably good maple syrup. You're right. I should try it at least once. After all, if I can, if I can eat an Oreo with with neon green relish on it, I can try a fried egg in maple syrup. You like your eggs and pancakes with lots of maple syrup? Uh, See, even when I have pancakes, I don't have a lot of maple syrup. I have some. I like the essence of maple syrup. I don't use a lot. Mrs. Livy uses a lot. I don't use a lot. I thought I'd seen him do other videos with his wife that I don't see listed on the Elton Brown channel. Cooking experiments, like different ways to make hazelnut butter and, and cow processing, etc. Possibly. I've never seen those videos. I'd be interested though. Um, I know they also have them hosting some bogus show. What's that? American uh, Iron Chef. I never watched it, but as flying by, I've seen these, or has been. I don't know if he always is. Iron Chef America, or something like that. His regular show, they're funny and informative. It's your fault for being defrauded. It's everyone's fault when they're defrauded. Buyer beware, right? That's the way the law reads. Why didn't you know they were lying and verify their claims? Overcharge and underdeliver. The American way. Yeah, well, yeah, for the most part, huh? Seems to be the way it goes. Used to be you could grease palms. You can't even do that anymore. You know, it's uh, it was it was played out in The Sopranos when was it Paulie and uh, I forget who the hell the other guy was. They went into a place like Starbucks, and tried to lean on him, and they couldn't do it because it was like a corporate store and wouldn't have made any difference anyway. And because there was just no way to put pressure on him. Is because there was just no way to get to the top going into one location because it wasn't a franchise place; it was a corporate store. Too many grease bombs is a problem now. Yes, it is. You got too many people working for one person. One or two people. That's a problem. I buy oat milk. I don't trust that distribution cycles will favor my wants as I want. So I acquired a juicer, which will do the job. Buy big bags of oats and all damn seeds. And make my own. You get that much milk out of it? I mean, is it cost from a cost standpoint? I mean, is it worth it in the end? Um, uh, of course, you can't for absolute certainty be sure that what you're getting pre-juiced is in actuality what you're getting. There's that factor as well. Is do it on the regular. Oh, okay. Well, let us know what the outcome is. At least you know that you're getting what you're getting. Nothing tossed in on the side to stretch it. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what people might do. I mean, we've discussed that with honey on a previous show. I mean, it's doubtful there's enough honey going around in the world to supply the demand for what's being called honey out there. So, especially considering that the demand is increased and the supply has decreased. So I only buy local honey. So I'm careful. I know the people I buy from. No unnecessary chemistry when making it. So exactly. Stabilizers, yeah, yep. No coloring. Exactly. None of that stuff. No stuff. Yeah, you don't need to pay for stuff. You know, you're not there to buy stuff. It's like when I went to cardio rehab. I told them right up front, I said, there's one thing that you'll never get me to switch to from butter is margarine in any form. I said, I look at the box of butter and I look at the ingredients and it says cream and salt. And I look at the box of margarine and it has a whole list of shit. And I think I'm going to stick with the cream and salt because it's a much shorter list and I know where it came from. So I'm not switching. You know, I don't care what you say about butter. I know what it is. And the trash I'm disgusted with the packaging. Results from my consumption of basic meals. Well, I'm disgusted with the packaging from medical marijuana. Christ, the wastefulness and the expense. I mean, it's unbelievable. Although I have to admit, the weed I had today, this Exodus cheese, this had the least expensive packaging I came across so far. It was in a Ziploc pouch, okay, an aluminum Ziploc pouch, impregnable, resealable, plastic covered aluminum Ziploc pouch. Most of the time, it's in some kind of container that's in a container in a container. Fucking ridiculous what they make you go through just to get weed. The concentrates are worse. Right, way too much plastic. Yeah. Every couple 2 days, I add an empty carton of alcohol beverage to the trash heap. No longer, no one making my own. Exactly. packaging became obscene. Yeah. Well, yeah, look at all of the plastic they're pulling out of the ocean all the time. It's unbelievable. Islands of the shit floating around in the ocean. Literally. It's disgusting how we pollute. And 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 we ship cases of bottles of this to countries that don't have fresh water, and then they pollute their rivers with empty plastic bottles. Clog up the rivers of Africa with empty plastic bottles. We got to clean the rivers with empty plastic bottles. An untapped fuel source. There has to be a way, except for the emissions. We know we can make thermal fleece out of it. How about we clothe the homeless? Northern European countries, smart people of the world, burn it for the heat and electricity. We can't let it degrade in nature. No, it won't. That's the problem. That's why it's plastic. That's what. That's the problem with it. Yes, it doesn't degrade. It never goes away. It's always plastic. Every point I find multiple motivations for going green. Any benefits for singular choices? Plastic. Recycling is a joke. It's not a joke. You know what? I remember a time when it was a way of life. Okay? It was called free plastic. Okay. When I was growing up, that's how it was. You bought a 6 pack of 12-ounce bottles of Coca-Cola, because that's how they came. Or you bought a 32-ounce bottle, not Coca-Cola. Never came in anything bigger than a 12-ounce bottle at that time. You can buy a 32-ounce bottle of other soft drinks, like fruit flavor. There was a 2-cent deposit on every 12-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola or 7-Up or Pepsi. There was a 5-cent deposit on a 32-ounce bottle. A gallon of milk in a glass bottle on which there was a 15-cent deposit. There were no plastic bottles. So recycling was a way of life. Okay. So it isn't a joke. It can be a way of life. Okay. People just have to do it. It was fun, and I'll tell you why. Because kids would get the bottles. Because parents thought it was a pain in the ass to take the shit back. Gave kids spending money. Of course, back then a nickel meant something. Get a candy bar. Just heard from the seller. New package. They're checking on it. Now maybe it will start moving again. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. That's crazy. You got a big return. Only days you need 100 cans to buy one candy bar. Yeah. Well, you're lucky if you get a candy bar for 100 cans. Down here, they crush them, sell your cans by weight. All you can do is sell the aluminum. You don't get a lot for aluminum. There's a veritable plethora of aluminum. A lot of guys drink beer in aluminum cans around here. On a Bush Lake. So, yeah, there's Jim, welcome aboard. In Wisconsin, you buy shit weed. Oh, well, come on down. Buy good weed here. Aluminum is not food safe in your regard. Oh, depends on what you put in it. You certainly can't put sauerkraut in it. Eat right through that shit. Take it from somebody who grew up in Chicago. Sauerkraut eat through aluminum foil. There's a lot of Polish people in Chicago. Being half Polish myself, I've been to a lot of Polish gigs and half Russian, so shindigs are pretty much the same on both sides of the fence, by the way. When he lived in Oregon, I bought my dad a tree with the money from returned from cans and bottles. Party, it was like $18. Oh, there you go. So that was from so they had a deposit on cans too, huh? Yeah, there's no deposit on cans in Illinois. Of course, this was back in the 50s. I'm talking. In the VW and food in the belly. Some of my travels. See, some tight spots. Caffeine on cans and bottles was good. Yes. $300 bottom shelf. Whoa. You're kidding me. That's an outrage. That was 77. No. I'm talking pre-cans when I was a little guy. Hames beer. You guys remember Hames beer? They were first one that I recall. They had beer in cans, and the cans were cans. The top of the can was cone shaped, and it had a cap like a beer bottle, and you could use the bottom of one can to open the other. It was pretty cool.
That was in the 50s. Those were like the first beer cans, I remember, before a flat top can, before the one you open with a church key. Pre-rolled or full of leaves? I don't buy pre-rolled. I pack all my own. Wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other way. I do it in here. Yeah, you don't know. It might have been what they swept up off the floor. You know. Maybe it's better and healthier anyway. Well, there's just something about flour, you know. I guess just an old hippie at heart. What can I say? Well, welcome aboard, Jeff, and welcome for the festival, or thank you for the festival, I should say. Well, you vape dry flour. Yeah, I'd have to invest in a new machine, and I'm not willing to put that much money into it. So they sort of tax stuff like canned beverages by 5 or 10 cents, and whomever returns the can or bottle gets the money. Yeah, a deposit. That's what we had back in the 50s on glass bottles. But but everything came in glass. You know, there weren't any cans. You don't mess with concentrates. I I like to cook with them, and occasionally I do, except your own hash. Most flour is full of pesticides, not the stuff from the dispensaries. It has to be pesticide free. Illinois, grown in Illinois, can't come from anywhere else. Yeah, yeah, I don't have that kind of money right now. I got too much going on. I need to have a foundation put on my house. Oh, yeah, I remember glass bottle vending machines. Oh, he's not. I don't know, maybe because when we get together, we talk a lot. We were together a lot. Yes, we were together yesterday, so we had to say we already said it.
Maybe that's why. Well, thanks for stopping in, Jeff. Appreciate it. Take care. Last bottle soda was so much better. Glass just does the chill better than aluminum. It's different. But it holds the chill. You know, I think that's what's different. Thicker, better. And the throwaway bottles that, that, um, there's, uh, uh, are there, is it still there? There is a Mexican grocery in Gold City, and they sell uh, Mexican Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola that's imported from Mexico, and I buy that. I don't drink soft drinks generally, but I'll buy that. For one, it's made with sugar instead of corn syrup. I think Coke's selling that again anyway. But anyway, I'd buy that, and that comes in glass bottles, and that's fun to drink. I liked about I would buy that. That was nice, but I haven't been going to Cold City, and I don't know that that store is open. Probably not. So, Forging Secrets, the new drummer Rush. Likes to drink. A few more lifetimes. Okay. I see. It's going to take you a while to get to that level. You're right. It is good. Raw cane juice. Is that what it is? Is that what makes it so good? I knew it was something better than corn syrup. KD is a goonie. You trying to start something? I think she's trying to start something. Well, you know what? I think it's going to be pizza time. So I'm going to end this thing the way I always end them. It's to tell you folks that there's nothing funny about peace, love, and understanding. So I hope to see you all here next time.